Last lesson closed with a promise. The stems that end in the letter I. This is that lesson. Listen to the new family.
Hostis, urbs, navis, ignis, mare.
Enemy, city, ship, fire, sea. The words Roman history is written in. So far, the third declension has given you two classes of consonant stems. Class 1 adds the letter S to the base. Class 2 adds nothing at all. Today's nouns are neither one. They are a different stem type whose stem ends in the vowel I, and that single vowel changes a handful of endings. You were told to keep the genitive close because the genitive shows the base. Keep it closer today. Now it will count syllables too. 14 new nouns come with this lesson, every one an I stem, and the vocabulary wears the proof. After each word, you will see its genitive plural in the badge of the family. First 5 words of war.
Hostis,
An enemy in war. Think hostile. You already have a word for personal enemy.
inimicus,
A rival is personal. This new word means the enemy across a battlefield.
caedes,
Slaughter.
cliens,
A retainer or dependent. A man bound to serve a powerful patron. Think client.
insigne,
A decoration or badge. Think ensign.
calcar,
A spur, a horseman's spur. Next, 4 words of the city.
urbs,
A city. Think suburb. You know a word for a smaller walled town?
oppidum,
A city is larger, and for a Roman, the city meant Rome herself.
civis,
A citizen, man or woman, think civic.
turris,
A tower, think turret.
ignis,
Fire, think ignite. The last group belongs to the sea and the wide world.
navis,
A ship, think naval. Add the adjective for long and you have the Roman warship.
navis longa,
Literally a long ship, a man of war.
mare,
The sea, think marine.
avis,
A bird, think aviation.
animal,
An animal, English took the word whole.
finis,
An end or a limit, think final. And in the plural, it means country or territory, the land inside your boundaries. Now the grammar. Before declining a third declension noun, you must know whether it is an I stem. 3 tests for masculines and feminines. Test 1 applies only to nouns whose nominative ends in
es,
o.
is,
Within that group, count syllables. The word for slaughter with a long E.
caedes, caedis,
2 syllables in the nominative, 2 in the genitive. The count holds an I stem. The word for soldier with a short E.
miles, militis,
2 syllables grow to 3, a consonant stem. Outside that group, counting proves nothing. Test 2, a nominative in the letters NS or RS, like the retainer.
cliens,
Test 3, 1 syllable ending in S or X after a consonant, like the city.
urb,
Neuters are simpler. A third declension neuter is an I stem if its nominative ends in
al,
or.
ar,
You just met all 3 kinds in the vocabulary. Now what does the letter I actually change? Less than you might fear. Masculines and feminines change exactly 2 endings. The genitive plural ends in where consonant stems end in and the accusative plural may take
is,
beside the familiar.
es,
Neuters go further. The ablative singular ends in
I,
and the letter I stands in every form of the plural. Everything else is the consonant stem table you already own. To the table, here is slaughter in full. Stems.
cedi,
Basi,
ced,
the singular.
cedes, cedis, cedi, cedem, cede.
Nothing new. Those are the third declension endings you have used for weeks. The plural,
Cedes, cedium, cedibus, cedis, cedibus.
there are the 2 changes. Circle the genitive plural in and the accusative plural in.
Is,
With the older,
es,
still allowed. Both accusatives are correct. You will meet both in reading. And the terminations column beside the table fits every masculine and feminine I stem. Set the other 3 beside it. Enemy, city, retainer. The nominatives.
hostis, urbs, cliens.
The genitives.
Hostis, urbis, clientis.
Down the table, the pattern holds, so watch only the marked rows. Genitive plural.
Ostium, urbium, clientium.
Accusative plural.
Hostis, urbis, clientis.
One fine point hides in the retainer. The vowel is long before the letters NS, but shortens before NT. Watch the pair.
Cliens, clientis.
The macron marks the long E in the nominative, and it vanishes in the genitive. This one the eye learns, not the ear. 2 footnotes before the neuters. 5 of the new nouns, the bird, the citizen, the limit, the fire, and the ship, may take their ablative singular in,
I,
as well as
e.
So beside,
Nave,
you will also read.
navi.
And the tower is stubborn, accusative,
Turrim,
ablative,
turri,
or.
turre.
A few everyday words keep the oldest I stem endings. Recognize them and read on. Now the neuter table, decoration, animal, spur, all 3 stems end in the letter I.
Insigni, animali, calcari.
In the nominative, that final vowel is usually dropped, and when it is kept, it softens to a long vowel shortens before a final L or R, so the 3 stems give the nominatives.
Insigne, animal, calcar.
Decline the first, singular.
Insigne, insigni, insigni, insigne, insigni.
Mark that ablative in.
I,
For neuters, that is the rule, not an option. The plural.
insignia, insignum, insignibus, insignia, insignibus.
The letter I stands in every plural form.
Ia, ium, ibus.
The last of those you already had from consonant stems, the first 2 are new. Step back, and the old neuter law is still in charge. Nominative and accusative match in both numbers, and the plural pair ends in the letter A. Here the syllable.
Ia,
Animals, decoration, spurs.
animalia, insignia, calcaria.
One gap to respect. The word for sea has no genitive plural in use. The table tempts you to build the form, but the Romans did not say it. And where a form does not exist, no table can summon it. Put the table to work. Listen.
20 navis longas prohibebant finibus hostium ed propinquare.
Piece by piece. The winds are the subject. The warship stands in the accusative plural, wearing the new ending.
Navis longas.
The enemy appears in the genitive plural.
Ossium.
And the word for limit appears in the plural, where it means territory.
Finibus.
So the winds kept the men of war from approaching the territory of the enemy once more, at full speed.
20 navis longas prohibebant finibus hostium ad propinquare.
Your turn. Translate each sentence during the pause, then comes the English. Start here.
Tives Romani urbem suam turribus altis, et muris longi muniverant.
The Roman citizens had fortified their city with high towers and long walls, a pluperfect. The work was already finished. Now this one.
Alia animalia terram, alia mariamant.
Some animals love the land, others the sea, and note the sea. It is the object of the verb, yet its form matches the nominative, the neuter law at work. 2 more. Listen.
Imperatora clientibus sui calcariauri, et alia insignia accepit.
The general received from his retainers spurs of gold and other decorations. Both gifts are neuter plurals in.
Ia.
The next one goes to sea.
In neo mariavis multas vidimus que longe a terra volaverant.
On that sea we saw many birds which have flown far from land. 2 endings to savor. The sea in the neuter ablative.
Mari.
And the birds in the accusative plural.
Avis.
The last one is a question and its answer. The yes or no words of lesson 36 return. A question with
Nonne.
expects yes, with
Num.
expects no.
Certe.
And
Minime.
answer them, certainly, not at all. Listen.
Nonne vidistis navis longa socium, et ignis quibus urbs nostra vastabatur. Certe, sed nec cedem civium, nec fugam clientium vidimus.
Did you not see the enemy's warships and the fires with which our city was being laid waste? Certainly, but we saw neither the slaughter of the citizens nor the flight of the retainers. 7 I stem forms in one exchange. Now reverse the direction. English into Latin. 3 of the book's sentences chosen for what they teach. This one, because of the lack of grain, the animals of the village were not able to live. One hint, for because of the lack, use the ablative of course. No preposition at all. Compose it in the pause. Here is the Latin.
In opia frumenti animali a vici vivere non poterant.
The cause stands first in the bare ablative. The animals are a neuter plural subject in
Ia,
and were not able takes a complementary infinitive, just as in English. Once more.
in opia frumenti animali a vici vivere non poterant.
Later in the same exercise comes a command. He said to the citizens, "Send your retainers with horses and wagons to our camp, and you will receive an abundance of grain." 3 things to mind. The citizens stand in the dative, the command is a plural imperative, and you will receive is future. Here is the Latin.
Civibus dixit, mittite clientis vestros cum equis, et carris ad castra nostra, et frumenti copiam accipietis.
The retainers were the new accusative plural in
Is,
the ending in
es,
would be equally correct, and the word for camp is plural in form, always. The exercise closes on the trap the book itself flags. With happy hearts, they hastened to obey his words. The book's hint reads, not the accusative. Why? Because the verb for obey
pareo,
is one of the dative verbs. Believe, favor, harm, obey, persuade, resist. It gives obedience to someone, so its object stands in the dative. Compose it. Here is the Latin.
letis animis verbis eius parere properaverunt.
Happy hearts open the sentence in the ablative of manner, and his words sit safely in the dative. Once more.
Letis animis verbis eius parere properaverunt.
The lesson in one breath. An I stem gives itself away 3 ways. A syllable count that holds from nominative to genitive, a nominative ending in the letters NS or RS, or a single syllable ending in S or X after a consonant. Neuter I stems end in
Il,
or
ar,
masculines and feminines change 2 endings. Genitive plural, accusative plural,
is,
O.
es,
Neuters add the ablative singular in
I,
and keep the letter I through the whole plural.
ia, ibus.
14 new nouns are yours. The enemy, the city, the ship, the sea, and the fire among them. Next lesson, the third declension closes its story, the irregular nouns and the rules of gender. To practice what you just learned, this course has free exercises and AI-graded feedback on ludium.ai. The link is in the description.